Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Marcus Aurelius, and today I have quite a treat for you. A jolly good time known as the Curious Expedition. Now, the Curious Expedition is a roguelike expedition simulator set in the 19th century. The worlds that you explore are procedurally generated, and if you know anything about me and my channel, you will know that I love shit like that. And so I have been following the progress of this game for quite a while. I believe it's still in early access on Steam, though you can get it for $15, and it's pretty much a complete game. They're adding new content to it, but there are no bugs or any problems like that I can find. So I took the plunge about a week ago and decided to take it off my wish list and give it a try. And I'm very glad that I did. It's put out by a developer called Maschinen-Mensch out of Berlin, Germany. And I am not German, but I believe that means machine man, or something along those lines. I'm sure if anyone is watching this who is German, they can correct me. But this game has a lot of cleverness in it, a lot of joy in it. It's basically imperialism. You are primarily British, but there's some choices that are not British. You're let's just say a European, and you are exploring the wider world looking for priceless artifacts to bring back home in order to increase your renown and also your pocketbook. However, there's a lot more color to it than that, and you meet natives and you recruit people to join you on your adventures, and you fight off monsters. It's just a lot of fun. So I'm thinking of doing a mini-series on it. Maybe not as long as a full series, but definitely not just one episode. We are going to attempt to basically get a statue made of ourselves. That's the goal of the game. You have to go on 5 expeditions, survive, and earn the highest amount of renown. And if you do this, you're also being competed against by other explorers. And if you do win this, you get a statue of yourself in the Explorers Guild. But enough talking. Let's get started and go on a curious expedition. Alright, well, first of all, you get to pick which famous personality is going to be you. And some of them, as you can see, are blocked out. You earn them throughout the game doing certain tasks, and some of them are actually quite difficult to achieve, so I don't know if I'll ever achieve some of them. But the choices that we currently have are... oh, and you have to click on them, I guess, to... So we have Charles Darwin, okay? Now, each of these people has different skills that can be put to use when you're doing your thing, and they all come with different ancillaries. So, for example, one of the things you can discover when you're exploring is a butterfly. And in this case, if you're Darwin, every time you get a butterfly, your sanity, which is the measure of... you can consider it the health bar of the game. As you move around, you lose sanity, and if your sanity runs out, you die. So part of the game is managing your sanity and making sure that you have enough to survive. Darwin here gains sanity each time he collects a butterfly. And Darwin comes with a Scottish soldier, a Persian translator, a donkey, some chocolate, torches, a shotgun, and a machete. So Darwin actually has some weapons. Other explorers do not. There are tons of items in this game, and many of them are quite useful. But you have to be cognizant of the amount of money that you have, because you can only bring a certain amount of items, you can only afford a certain amount of items. So while it would be great to have everything, you have to be very careful with what you bring. So we also have Marie Curie, who is French, not English, and she comes with a different set of people. Richard Francis Burton, Mary Kingsley, Nikola Tesla, Dion Fortune, Frederick Courtney Sellis, H.P. Lovecraft, whom I haven't played yet, but I probably will for this series because he has a metal cube, a small cube of a shiny magnetic material covered in otherworldly engravings. So there you go, Cthulhu Fhtagn. And Isabella Bird. She is a legendary adventurer, first woman to join the Royal Geographical Society. So these are the ones that I currently have access to. My favorite is Richard Francis Burton. And the reason he is my favorite is because he has the polyglot skill, which allows him to rest in native villages and improves communication with the native people. The native villages are really the only place that you can, without penalty, recoup your sanity. So being able to speak with them is always a good thing. Also, when you spend the night in a native village, there's a chance that an event might happen that might give you a location of a secret temple or something, and in order to get that, you have to obviously be able to speak with the natives. So we're going to start with Burton. He comes with a British soldier and a native scout. Now, a scout is valuable because they allow you to see further, and a soldier is valuable because it can kill things. It comes with whiskey, torches. Torches help you explore caves. Whiskey and chocolate are interchangeable as food items. Rope is useful in some situations, and shovels. One of my favorite things to have are, let's see if anybody has any. Machetes are the things I'm looking for. There we go. Charles Darwin comes with them. Machetes are great because there's a lot of brush in the game, which makes you lose your sanity, and it takes up a lot of your walking speed. So machetes help you cut through them, which is really helpful. Donkeys can carry goods, so it increases your inventory, and later in the game, you can discover dinosaurs to carry your goods, which is really cool as well. Alright, but we are almost 8 minutes in, and I haven't actually played the game yet, so let's get on with it. Welcome back to the Explorers Club, old friend. Have you heard that we are building a statue to... Hey, you didn't let me read the text. Well, that's quite rude. Basically what this gentleman is saying, you can pause the screen, of course, but he's basically saying that whoever wins the most renown on these exploratory journeys will get a statue made of them, which is the kind of goal, I guess, of the game, along with survival. So my competitors are going to be Johann Huizinga, Nikola Tesla, Freya Stark, and no, she is not of the Starks of Winterfell, and Harriet Tubman. No kidding, Harriet Tubman. Okay. I didn't know Harriet Tubman was a famous explorer, but you live and you learn. Alright, so it looks like Harriet Tubman is going to America, which makes a lot of sense, granted. And we are going to go to Ecuador, I guess. And it is an old grasslands, a well-balanced region consisting mostly of wide grasslands. Rumors talked about a golden pyramid. So the goal of each of these expeditions is to discover and go to a golden pyramid. When you do this, the expedition is over, and you go back to London to prepare for your next expedition. You want to obviously explore as much as possible to bring back as much loot as possible, but at the same time, you're losing sanity and you're being attacked by creatures. So, in some cases, the best course of action is simply to beeline for the pyramid, leaving aside unexplored ruins and temples and things just to survive. You may not get as much money and fame, but you'll be able to continue on to the next adventure. So it's a constant decision-making process, and that's what makes this game really fun and really replayable. Why it's a roguelike is because you can die at any time, and you have to constantly make decisions on the fly. This is, 6 expeditions. I'm sorry, I said 5. So this is 1 of 6. We currently have 10 fame and 30 pounds, I guess. Okay, so a missionary has approached. He had decided to leave England and requested to take him to a nearby native village in order to spread the word of God. Okay. Come along, missionary. I will spread the word of God, Brother Charles. Okay, let us do that. Okay. The missionary has marked the location of the village he wanted to visit on our map. That's a good thing about having a missionary in this context, is you don't have to find the native village. You already know where it is. Here's my team. We have Private Nathaniel Edwin, and they can level up, by the way. We have Brother Charles, and we have Yozavid. And they develop personalities too. Like, for example, me, Richard Burton, he is a polyglot, as we well know, and he's escorting a missionary. Now, our Private Nathaniel Edwin is a sexist, and he is prejudiced against people of the opposite sex. I have not yet seen where this comes into play. Maybe if you have a female in your party, it causes problems. He also has combat spirit, which gains us sanity from fighting, and he will improve in that as he levels up. Our scout has scouting, knows geography, and no negative traits, which is great. And Brother Charles is claustrophobic, so he probably doesn't like caves very much, but he has a strong mind, which increases the maximum sanity. So let's talk a little bit about the screen here. This is the compass. The golden portion of it here points in the direction of the golden pyramid. This is how close each of the explorers is to finding their pyramid. This just tells you what day of the expedition it is. This is my inventory down here. This is how much sanity we have. These are objects to be found in this particular map. These are my characters. And this is our standing with the local native populations, which starts off good. And again, Burton starts off with a bonus because he's a polyglot. So because resting in the village will improve our sanity, it's probably a good idea to actually do some exploring first to wear down our sanity. Now, as you can see here, it tells you how much sanity it consumes where you decide to go places. And as you move forward, you explore more territory. These white question marks represent potential things to interact with. Now see, the thick jungle, you would need machetes to cut through. If not, as you can see, it takes 13 sanity to walk through it, whereas if I were just to go around it, it only takes 13 to go all the way here. So as you can see, it's a impediment to your exploration. Then we have mountains, of course, water. So let's go find out what this is, first of all. It's a stone circle, and one thing I learned too is you do not have to be standing directly on an object to explore it. You only need to be adjacent to it. So for planning your movement, that is a good thing to know. Let's enter the stone circle. We came across a stone circle that was obviously man-made. There were inscriptions etched into each rock. Maybe they form a kind of a map. Our scout is a traditionalist, and he's saying we must not touch anything here. But we are going to analyze the inscriptions. We deciphered the inscriptions and found that they would help us to find out more about an area of our choice. Okay, so we need to pick an area to reveal. I'm sorry, I'm playing the game in windowed mode right now for better recording, and it's a little hard to move around. Come on, stop, stop, stop. All right, we'll look at this area here. Better hurry before the natives notice what we have done. We haven't done anything, dude. We've just read some inscriptions. Just chill. All right, let's go check out this place. Okay, there is the butterflies that I was talking about, and here's another thing to explore. So we have a camp. We approach an old campsite. It must have been here for a long time. All the bones we found had been cracked open and, as it seemed, sucked dry. Oof, that's kind of something. Oh, and we gained a level. So the way I understand this is that you can only pick one of them to level up. And since I'm leaving the missionary with the village, it has to be one of these two. So Yozavid will get, I think, Scouting 2 is what he gets. And he'll get Fighting 2. Let's level him up, actually. So now, just so you know, combat, and we'll get to there when we actually have combat, but the way combat works is you roll dice. And the dice might come up on one of these things. Blank means nothing. This is run. and this is attack. And other people have other things, like he has defend, the hand, which means different things. Some people have a brain, and I don't 100% understand at this point. It's the kind of situation where a manual would be quite helpful, but sometimes you can combine things. Like, for example, if you roll a sword and a running man, you can combine them to make a, like, running attack. So there's different ways you can combine your dice to impact combat in certain ways. Search the area. I told the people to form small teams and investigate the surroundings. I wish I could do this all day, says our scout. To our surprise, one of the rotten crates still held some valuable equipment. Excellent. So now we have a flare and a weather balloon. Let's find out what comes next. And what's wrong with you, missionary? Oh, you're just claustrophobic. Well, why does that matter? So a balloon to collect interesting scientific data. Why not? Left click to use. What interesting scientific data did I collect? I have actually never used a weather balloon before. Maybe I can sell the data. Let's go get a butterfly. Francis's Radiant Skull Flyer is what we have named the butterfly. And we have discovered more things in this region. But now we're getting awfully close to running out of sanity, so we're just going to head back to the village. The pyramid is somewhere around here, though, so we will be heading back. We arrive at a native village. This group were a clan of powerful warriors and protectors of this region. As we arrived, the village was buzzing with activity. No one really paid attention to us. We moved freely into the village and considered our options with these people. There is Sekeb, Hexavizud, Sekeb again, Bika Guitar, Hiyosi, and Dozola. Oh, and then there's Yabo here hiding in the back. The villagers observed us with curiosity. They were kind and offered to help our cause. I recognized the language, because I am a polyglot, of the natives, and soon was able to communicate. Well, first let us deliver the missionary. We accompanied the missionary to the village chief. The elderly man was a compulsive talker and told us about the best sights to see in the region, including a holy shrine, which he marked on our map. Our extended presence was perceived well by the natives. They remained kind and offered us more help. So we could recruit a native to come along with us. We could attempt to trade with them, though currently there's no reason to do that. Or we could leave. And of course, resting will be what we will do to replace our sanity. But first, let's see if we can recruit somebody. We sat down and spoke with the natives to see if any adventurous spirits were inclined to join our trek. However, not one of the villagers wanted to join the trek. We needed to gain their trust first. Okay. As darkness fell, the natives lit a campfire and invited us to sit with them. In a quiet moment, one of the village elders asked my opinion on a delicate matter. He asked us if we knew who had created humankind. God? Evolution? Or I don't know. Well, we are scientists after all, so how about this time around we'll try evolution. We explained to him that in our opinion, humans were a natural result of evolution. He nodded quietly as he listened to our explanation. I have no idea what these things actually do. In one of them, they come up and ask you if it's okay for a man to marry more than one wife. And you can say yes or no. It doesn't, I don't see how it impacts things. But we got a good night's rest. The following morning was bright and sunny, a perfect day for new adventures. We felt welcome here. They remained very polite and seemed to be not disturbed by our stay. Let's try again to recruit somebody. Nope. Alright. That's just fine. Fine, just fine. We are going to leave. Alright, so there's the shrine that he told us about, which will eat up a lot of our sanity. Man, this movement system is something else. But I think I'm getting the hang of it. Alright, so there's nothing to the west. Everything's to the east. So let's head here first off. Now this red, by the way, is an enemy creature, and if we walk inside the red area, it will attack us. And as you can see, sometimes you use items, like for example, if I were to want to walk here, we would use one of our ropes. To get to this question mark, we'll use up a lot of our sanity, but we do have the whiskey, which will improve our sanity. Let's risk it. Well, hopefully this was worth it. Let's explore. The waterfall was of enormous scale. It was an awe-inspiring sight. The water cooled down the air, creating a fresh breeze. I wish we could stay longer, says the scout. Well, actually we are. We're going to rest to regain some sanity. I decided it would be a good idea to stay here and told the people to rest. That night, something felt wrong as we rested by the fireplace. While sitting around the fireplace, we heard what sounded like a fight coming from nearby. A young native was struggling to fend off a hideous beast. Well, of course we're going to help him. So you can see combat before the end of the episode. Alright, so we have this native here, Paheg, and he's fighting two tigers. And these, oh my god, these guys are rough. They have so many hit dice. Hoo boy. Okay, we can't use the flare gun in combat. We're just going to have to hope for the best. Let's roll the dice. Yeah, vibrating dice indicate that you can make combos. So let's try one. Let's use the hand. And so this gives us a kick, which does increase damage. And if we want to use the run as well, it'll be a Ripper Leap, which will give us 5 damage. That's what we're going to do. Whew, the tiger is still going strong. So now we can have a regular attack or a double attack. Let's do a double attack. And if you don't like your roll, you can always re-roll it. But in this case, I did like my roll. And that's the end of the round. Now we're going to get roughed up pretty bad. Yeah, so our native is out. Or our scout, I should say. Our native warrior is almost out. And Richard Burton is not doing too well either. This might be a problem. This adventure might end before it begins. Let's do a headbutt. Reroll. Evade. That might be helpful. Okay, wow. Okay, Burton's down. So now we just have our scout and our British soldier. We're gonna die. I just want you guys to know this. I'm pretty sure we're gonna die. Yeah, we're definitely gonna die. Come on, just yes, okay, let's just try to at least finish off one tiger. Come on. Yeah. We got one of the suckers anyway. And game over. We died in combat. So as you can see, this game pulls no punches. It is as difficult as any roguelike you've ever played, but it is very rewarding. So I will be coming back and trying again. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy it, and I hope you do, because I really do. Once again, I'm Marcus Aurelius. The game is Curious Expedition by Maschinen-Mensch, and have a good one.